Good evening, YouTube. This is Kaylin Stern coming at you with a review of the Heater Meals Plus that I received as a trade from Stick of Fingers 745. And this is the Southwest style chicken with rice and beans. And this was like a package of two. There are some extra bits that I took off that was attached to the one that he reviewed. And this box does look a little worse for wear, but there's no leaking, so it seems like all the contents are still there. But although the box does show what's inside, I'm still gonna pull the items out. There's a peel strip, which doesn't always work the greatest. So inside this box is another box that has all of the contents. And yeah, this box did take a bit of a hit. But that's okay. It'll be a good place to drop all the trash. So first off, the top is King's brand toasted soy nuts or soy kernels. Oh, bugger. Well, this is the source of the problem. This was the Musselman's applesauce. That is what caused the whole mess. This is a water pouch that would normally be used with the flameless ration heater that comes in these packs. It is Heater Meals brand, and it is 2 ounces of water, and it is salted water, so it has salt in it. This is the Enjoy brand that's commonly used by restaurants and large commercial kitchens. This is the crushed red pepper. Get these in some pizzas that you might order from pizza places. That is intact. This is the Keebler Pecan Sandies. And it's a good thing this is a plastic bag because it got some of the applesauce on it. This is the entree itself. This is the chicken and rice, and some of the applesauce has spilled on the plastic top. So what I will have to do is clean these up before I go ahead and attempt to heat this. There are 2 packs of breadsticks. Plain breadsticks and sesame seed breadsticks. These are actually clean. They're busted, but they're clean. There's an accessory pack stuck to the heater bag, which got sauced with the applesauce. So I will not open it at all at this point. But there's a spoon, there's a napkin, there's a salt and pepper, and a wet wipe. This is the juice box, this Juice Bowl brand. The straw is encased in plastic. Again, this will have to be cleaned up. The ration heater, when I pulled the juice box off, it left some onto the heater bag, so I will have to clean all these up. I am going to fault the handling of this to the U.S. Postal Service. Despite Sticky Fingers' best efforts to package this, I do believe that the flameless ration heater itself can be used, but I will have to pause this video and then clean all this up and then attempt to go ahead and do this. So it will take some time, but I will do it. I am back. I got everything cleaned up as best I could. The straw that I took off of this box will not be used, and I wasn't going to use it anyway. What I wanted to do was open this and pour it into my drinking jar so you could see what the drink looks like. And the Pecan Sandies pouch, I got that cleaned up. I got the ration heater cleaned up. I got the soy nuts cleaned up. And I got the entree cleaned up. So what I'm going to do now is get the ration heater going. And this works like just any other ration heater you've seen in other military and civilian rations. Pull the top off. And the heating element is actually stuck to the bag so it does not move around. But instead of using the water pouch, because I don't know if that water is still any good, even if it was sealed, I just decided I'm not going to take any chances, and so I'm going to do my own salt water mix. There is a piece of tape on here. I don't know how well it will stay on because I literally washed the bag. So the heater pad pretty much covers the entire bottom of the entree container. If this heater does not work, then what I will do is I'll just poke a hole in it and put it in the microwave for a couple of minutes. But since I decided not to open that accessory pack, not that I was going to anyway, because I have the foreignmre.com spork, which I will use to pierce this little hole up here. Now this drink box is taller than the ones you would typically buy in a store. Usually they're only like 4 to 6 ounces. This is an 8-ounce box. So this is what that's how dark the juice is. Well, it is getting hot. I can feel heat from the heater. And the tape is still holding. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wait for several minutes while this thing does its job over here, and then I will be back and I will open the other items that I was able to wash off. So see you in a bit. I am back. The heater has done its thing, and before I open that up, I'm going to go ahead and open up the pecan sandies. It's a 1.7 ounce pouch. These are a small cookie. So that is how small they are. I'm going to open the soy nuts. This is honey roasted flavor. Probably the 1.5 ounces in this one. But for only that little bit of weight, you get all those. By the way, I forgot to tell you that I'll show the box. The best before date on this, May 22 of 2016. these two different kinds of breadsticks. I'm going to put the plain ones here with the pecan sandies. And then the sesame ones I'm going to put here with the soy nuts. And believe it or not, the tape held. It did not pop up. And while I was waiting for this thing to kick off, I had done a couple other things just to eat some clock. And when I came back to check on it, the steam was really coming out of this thing. So the heater really did its job. Had I had to put this in the microwave, I would have poked some holes in here, but because I used the flameless ration heater, I didn't do that. I'm using the meal box as the garbage box, so to speak. There's a pretty loose sauce in here. I'm going to leave this in this container because it's so saucy. Most people who have gotten these meals in the past, if they just buy them for their own use or to take on a trip, they would eat this right out of this container here. You know, what the heck, I'll pour it out onto the tray. I think it'll show up better on camera if I do this. I'm kind of bummed out that the applesauce exploded and did a number on the inside when, you know, the outer box was deceiving because I didn't see a whole lot of staining. I didn't feel any wetness, but who knows how long it sat after it had initially exploded and all that applesauce residue had just dried up. Again, I am not saying that was anything that the Sticky Fingers had done. I'm blaming it solely on the transport, maybe packaging by the company. I don't know. All I know is there are a few items in here that I have decided not to use. But there is an empty container. So I expected to see a whole lot more rice than this. Some chicken rice entrees, you get a crap ton of rice and not a whole lot of chicken. And I can already smell the seasonings off of it. The rice looks like a long grain white rice. That's what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and give it a taste. It's got a nice Southwest flavor, not a whole lot of heat to it. And that's fine, because if I wanted to add the crushed red pepper, I could. If I wanted to add the salt and pepper, I could. But after thinking about it, I thought about that red pepper packet. It was only like a paper foil packet. It didn't look stained, but I decided, no, I'm going to go ahead and take a pass on it. And even though the salt and pepper, and there was an additional salt-free seasoning in there, along with the napkin and the wet wipe and the spoon, I decided that even though they're in a plastic wrapper, that plastic packaging did get messed up by that exploded applesauce, and I decided that I didn't want to be bothered with that. But the black beans are nice and firm. The rice is not soft. I'm going to try to find a good sized chunk of chicken. I can see some, there's some corn in here. There's some corn with a couple of pieces of the chicken. The chicken's a bit dry. Despite all this sauce, the chicken is a bit dry. But the corn is fine. I can see bits of red bell pepper in here, some green bell pepper, although not very much. Would have been nice to see a little bit more. But that little flake of red there, that's the red bell pepper. It's so soft you really can't even taste it or tell it's there. Now this grape juice is actually blended with other juices. It's 100% juice, but it's not 100% grape juice, so it's a blend. Again, I emptied it out of that box because that box, despite my best efforts to clean it up, the straw itself is messed up, so I did not want to use that straw. Plus, I wanted to dump it out into this clear drinking jar so you could see what it looks like. It does taste like a grape juice blend, maybe grape cranberry. That would be my guess as to what it is. Now this is the plain breadstick. When I opened these packets up, I did get a hint of the stale smell. They definitely smell stale. I'm going to go ahead and take a bite. They're definitely stale. They do not have the crunch that they used to. In fact, that has a weird aftertaste. I'm going to try a bit of the sesame, but there are no sesame seeds on the outside. I don't know if they messed that up when these are made, or if they're actually inside it. Oh, I'm actually picking up garlic. So maybe garlic instead of sesame. But there's still that stale taste. The garlic does not do enough to cover up that stale taste. These are the toasted soy nuts. I can taste honey, but they have a weird taste that I would not expect for toasted soy nuts. They're also definitely stale. But they're edible, but just barely. Now the pecan sandies, I figured they would be all busted up, but they all stay together, every single one of them. The pouch that these are in was just a little bit thicker than what the breadsticks and the soy nuts are in, so that might have helped protect them a little bit more. That breaks very, very easy. In fact, it almost crushed in my fingers when I went to break it. They taste fine, but like a very, very old pecan sandy. I'm not even getting much pecan in there. I'm getting the sweetness, but not much of the pecan. So I don't know if it's because of the age or what, but you know, they're not as old or stale tasting as these breadsticks and soy nuts. But they're still perfectly fine to me. I'll go ahead and finish those off. And I will finish eating this because, after all, this is my dinner. Now, this portion here is roughly what you would get in a lot of foreign rations. Almost like 250 to 300 grams is what the mains are usually in those. Some might be less, but for this container to be nearly full, that's pretty good for a meal like this. I don't know if these are still being produced. I never did look these up to see if these are still available online. I have never seen them in stores here. So it might be interesting in the future to see if these are still being produced and to try a new version of this. Because if these are still being made, these could be a good short-term option for, say, a power outage, or if you're car camping and you want something that can fill you up without having to deal with a fire, or in the summer where you don't want the heat of a fire. You may not always want a hot drink, but in the winter where you might want a hot drink, that's where something like this would be a little lacking. But for getting a full 8 ounces of a drink, that's pretty good. Where some rations may only give you enough powder to mix with maybe 6 ounces at the most, or 250 milliliters of water. But I don't know if this one would be kid friendly because of the flavors, or if it's just a toned down version of something that would be more to an adult's liking, since it's not all that spicy. And also because of these soy nuts may not be kid friendly. They might not like them, and then some may, if there's a fresher. Now these, I don't think most kids would want to eat something that's stale, or even these breadsticks. Those are pretty stale. I do get a funny aftertaste off of those. So normally when I do a ration review, I polish off everything, because that is my meal for the day when I'm doing that. As far as these, I might actually have to take a pass on these, simply because they are that stale. And because they might have, even though they were wrapped, they might have been compromised by that exploded applesauce. But the pecan sandies, I will eat those. But this, yeah, I'm going to take a pass on those, because I don't want to make myself sick eating something that was exposed to who knows what. And I want to keep making these videos. I want to do other stuff. But anyway, this will be, this right here, and these cookies will be a good dinner for me, because this is quite a bit of food here. So I'm going to go ahead and edit this together, and then I'll get that to upload overnight, because when I'm doing these segmented videos, these longer ones, it takes quite a while on my current connection to upload. So that'll run, and that'll be my last review video of 2018. I have already placed my order for January ration with foreignemery.com, and when I get that package, you'll see what I have ordered, and I think it'll be interesting. So again, thanks for watching, and if I don't pop up any other videos before January 1st, I want to wish you all a Happy New Year, and thanks for watching. And again, shout out to Sticky Fingers 745. I will put the link to his channel down there, so you can go check him out. And again, I sent him a Polish Scout mess kit as a trade for this heater meal. And despite the drawbacks of some of this, I think it was a very good trade. I get something that I have never seen before. he gets an addition to his mess kit collection. So I'm very happy with that. So again, check out Sticky Fingers 745. Thanks for watching, and catch you on the flip side.